Hey everyone, I'm back with another House of the Dragon video. Today I'm giving my review for episode 6, The Princess and the Queen. And for the first time this season, I have mixed feelings about an episode of the show. I have no complaints about the acting, writing, or visuals. My problem is the pacing. While I recognize that what we've been seeing is all a prologue to the main story, I feel as if the pacing moved much too quickly in this one. We just passed through important events that I believe could have had much greater impact if more time and care had been placed into them. So let's start with Kristen Cole. The last time we saw him, he had beaten Joffrey Lonmouth to death. Yet when we rejoin the story, no mention is made about what happened following it. He disrupted the entire wedding celebration and even pushed Rhaenyra and Laenor into the actual ceremony early. And he killed a guest, a knight no less. We need at least some background on what happened. One line would even do. But we get nothing. And that makes it even more awkward when Harwin Strong is banished from the City Watch and sent home after he simply beats up Kristen, the man who actually killed someone in cold blood at the celebration. In this episode, it's revealed that Harwin is the father of Rhaenyra's children. The dynamic here looks interesting with him and the kids. They've developed an attachment to him and he's protective of them. Then we also have the rumors floating about King's Landing that they are Harwin's children. But don't get too caught up in the story because he'll be dead by the end of the episode. Damon is now married to Lena Valerion. There's a lot that could be explored here. There's some differences between what she wants to do and Damon's desires. She's fierce and independent like Rhaenyra. We begin establishing even some dynamics with her children. Her daughter, Rhaena, has been clinging to her dragon egg for years, but it hasn't hatched. Some interesting stuff going on in the family. And I felt like I wanted to know more about the relationship and how Damon has evolved with her over the years. But again, you can't get too interested here because, like Harwin, she's going to be dead by the end of the episode, too. And then we have Lara Strong. The guy has his family killed, but we get no background on what sort of grievances he might have with his father and brother. One thing about George's writing is that he has mostly gray characters, but Laris has no nuance because we have no idea about his motivations, aside from coming across as a stereotypical evil villain. All of this felt rushed to me. None of the deaths had much impact because we had no time to really get to know these characters. I did feel a little bit bad for Vagar. They did a great job of putting emotions onto the face of the dragon and her reluctance to kill her rider. That was extremely well done. Again, I know this is a prologue, but look, we have Damon lose two wives over the course of only 2 episodes. It's all just moving too fast. Imagine this in Game of Thrones. Oberyn arrives in King's Landing, and at the end of that same episode, the mountain kills him during trial by combat. We wouldn't feel the same way as when he dies after his character was developed over the course of a number of episodes. But that's basically what we had happen to Lena and Harwin in this episode. And to some extent, too, what they did with Laris. We just don't have any idea of his motivations. Everything's just rushed along without that character development. Okay, on to the positives now. What worked in this episode? For me, it was the dragons and also the children of Alicent and Rhaenyra. I thought the sparring matches were done well. The way they teased Aemon with the pig since he had been unable to claim a dragon was perfect. It's what you'd expect for kids their age. Vermax is another well done dragon from his design right down to his mannerisms. The scene where Jacaerys bonded with Vermax was perfect. The casting for these younger Targaryens was very good. Aegon, in particular, seems like a great fit for the role. We finally got Vagar, and I don't think she disappointed. I'm going to do a separate spotlight video on her. But again, they continue to impress with the uniqueness of each dragon. Now it's time to give this episode a score. The first 5 of the series I gave 8s and 9s, very high scores. This one, unfortunately, is much lower for me because key moments were just crammed in. It also didn't help that this was the transition episode from the younger to older versions of Rhaenyra and Alicent. Just like with episode 1, I think you need to ease the audience in and get them to know the characters. Instead, we just had a rapid fire series of events and deaths. This episode would have made a great season finale, an episode 10, if the episodes preceding it had developed the characters, built up the stories, we would have earned the payoff. So unfortunately, I just have to give this one a 6. I hope we see a departure from this fast forward feel in episode 7 and that we're able to have a more become more immersed in the world. Well, that's it for this one. Next up will be a Vagar video. If you enjoyed this one, hit the like button. If you're interested in more House of the Dragon content, listen to Caraxes and subscribe. I want to thank everyone for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.